Hi, Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th to the 28th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. I will not be soliciting you for anything, and that person is a scammer. Do not be scammed. Okay, with that said, now let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable to you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. All right, now let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot cards have to say. Scorpio, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Oh, goodness. Okay. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, now let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Scorpio, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. These three. So we're starting here with inner strength. This is the solar plexus chakra. And then we move to visualization, the third eye chakra. And we're going to see how this all correlates with the tarot in just a moment. And we have listening, the throat chakra, coming forward. Goodness. There we go. And now let's see the energy you need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Scorpio needs to be mindful of? February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Okay, these 4. So now with this energy to be mindful of, it will be giving you okay, let me show you. So here we have fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, with the Princess of Wands. It isn't necessarily saying just be mindful of fire sign energy. Be mindful of people who are immature, okay, inexperienced, and astoundingly passionate, astoundingly, they just have this, it's this laser focus. They're not going to be seeing anything else. They're just looking at one way forward, one thing, that's it. And so here it's like, be mindful, because there is this energy where you'll be kind of sucked into what they want to see and how they want things. And it's not necessarily going to be what's right for you, but it's going to be what they need at the time. So there's something here that they're pulling forward from you. And then we have the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th here. And we're going to get into this energy to be mindful of in just a moment. And we have the Prince of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. And then we have Freyalt, which is the Temperance card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And this is Sagittarius energy, November 22nd to December 21st. Now it's interesting that we have 2 cards that can kind of signify you, Scorpio. So we have the Sagittarius energy. If you're born on the cusp with Sagittarius, there's going to be this pull forward that is going to want you to kind of dive deeper into things, but also be very secretive about these things. It's kind of like you can go down the rabbit hole very, very easily. So do be mindful of that. And then you have the water sign energy of the Prince of Cups. And this is very much saying to you that you are defending your dreams, but there is going to be a frustration that you have around your dreams, around what you want. And you're going to be thinking, like, should I just give up? Should I just walk away? And the answer is no. You should always keep your sacredness as a part of you. And that's going to be very important during this time, Scorpio. So the left-hand side here is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the 8 of Cups, the 6 of Pentacles, the Messenger of Water. Again, you come through as the Knight of Cups, and you have the Empress. Then we have the Fool, the Magician, the 5 of Cups, the 2 of Swords. Ooh, I really like this. The 9 of Pentacles, the 7 of Swords, the Lover's card, which is Gemini energy. Time frame is May 21st to June 20th. And then you have the Hierophant, once again, Taurus energy coming through, April 20th to May 20th. And it's interesting because Taurus time frame moves into Gemini time frame. That's going to be very important for you for the public arena. Okay, so let's start off with the chakra energy. You have your inner strength coming forward. You have your solar plexus. So you have your gut really speaking to you. Your third eye is opening. You're seeing things more clearly, more in line with your inner self. And you're listening. You're listening to your truth. You're listening to what you desire. You are opening up your voice too. You're opening up your voice to yourself, to the way that you want to move forward. So we start off with inner strength. There is a sense of you stepping out of your shell in one way or another during this time. And we really see this with the connection to your heart, and also with you being a defender of not only what you love in life, but your dreams, your desires, your way forward. And there's something here where as you listen to your gut, as you start to take care of yourself, and it's not start to take care of yourself, but really making you a focus. And you start to see what's good for you, what isn't good for you. Listen to your gut's reaction to things, your gut's reaction to food, your gut's reaction to exercise, your gut's reaction to supplements. Listen to your gut's reaction to everything. You're going to be finding that maybe foods that you could eat all the time before, you're just not going to be good with. Or you're going to be finding that you don't want that drink, or it's not giving you the same feeling that it did. It's like that calm, nice, lulling feeling you're not getting that anymore. Your gut is actually saying, I don't want this in me. And so here, with your inner strength, you're breaking out of a shell. You're breaking out of an old way of being. And you're embracing something new. You're embracing something powerful. You're embracing something brilliant with you. And it really moves you forward in this way of seeing what it is that you desire. And as you're breaking out of the shell, there's going to be this initial, I'm so mad at me. Why didn't I do this before? And it's knowing that everything happens in divine timing. Okay, so here, with the visualization, what divinity is saying here, and what your angels and spirit guides are saying, is that it is time to look at the way that you want to move forward. So often we look at the way the world says, this is what you're supposed to be, this is how you're supposed to move forward, this is what you're supposed to desire. And that's all well and good. But looking inward and saying, what is it that I want? Where is it that I want to be? And I know we all have heard that visualization is the secret, right? It helps us achieve. Well, it helps us achieve because it puts out into our mind, it sends out those neural pathways that say, I can do this. I can climb this mountain. I can move forward this way. I can sustain what I thought I couldn't. And you're going to start to see yourself as you visualize, opening up a world to you that your mind once thought was impossible. So the art of visualization isn't the art of, I can imagine it and it just happens. It's the art of priming the mind for the endurance of the body. Priming the mind and saying, I can do this. And then your body going through the act of doing and then becoming. So here with visualization, you're looking at what's absolutely important to you and you're opening up the door. You're opening up the door to where you want to be, to how you want to move forward. And it leads you to really needing to listen to yourself, really needing to listen to your inner self, to the words that you say to yourself, the dreams that you have, the ideas that you have. You are listening to Spirit is saying here, you are listening to the words that you say. You are listening to the words that people have said around you. It's almost like your life has been a prayer. And I know that sounds oddly religious, but excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, sorry about that. You are listening to everything that you've been through. You're listening to everything that you've walked through, everything that you've overcome, every thing that has been denied. And you're now standing in your truth, everything that you fought for. And you're saying, this is who I am. This is where I need to be. This is what's right for me. It may not be right for everybody else, but it is most definitely right for me. And it starts to open up the door. It starts to open you to your reality because you're seeing what everybody spoke over you. And as Spirit said, it becomes like that prayer that was spoken over you, that was said over you. The words of encouragement, but the prayers can also be the prayers of despair. So here, what you're looking at is you're kind of looking at the holy chant of your life, and you're re-centering it. You're re-centering yourself on listening to the power within you, the power around you, and the way that you need to move forward. So surrounding yourself with positive words, it sounds like, okay, well, that's nice. I'm only going to say nice things about myself. Well, we can put that in our minds and in our soul as an intention, but we find that we go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was so stupid. I didn't, lock the door, or I didn't, whatever. And we beat ourselves up over the smallest, littlest things. And so here, when we say, I'm going to speak my life in prosperity and in abundance, and I'm going to listen to my soul and to myself, because Scorpio, as much as this is a learning time and a growing time, this is, I want to say, a very selfish time for you. It's a time to turn inward and say, this is what I want. This is the path I'm heading on. This is what I desire. This is the door I'm opening. And it leads you to being mindful of people, of energies that really want you to fail. They really, really do. They want you to sit there and they want to say, this is my life. This is what I'm doing. You're falling into line. And you're not. And so you're going to be a source of great frustration for people. But you also have to remember not to get lost in your own ideas, okay, in your own dreams, in what you're fighting for, not to get caught up in the minutia and let that take over everything. So we're starting off here with the Princess of Wands. The Princess of Wands is astoundingly passionate, astoundingly determined, right? It's very strong here, Sagittarius energy, but the seeker, the person who is seeking, the person who wants, the person who's discovering. But this is a person who has immature energy. So they might be relatively older, or they might be a more mature person, but they're immature. They kind of, you're like, oh my gosh, can you just open up your eyes and see what's before you? They can't. They can't. They get caught up in petty dramas really, really easily. They want to pull you into those dramas. They have a lot to say, but none of it really of any substance. And so here, you're going to find that this person wants what they want when they want it, and they want you to either fall into line or to help make their world easier for them. And they can pull away all your blessings, all your bounty, all your energy. Then we have the High Priest, the Hierophant energy. Now you have one beautiful blessing of the Hierophant, but here you have somebody who's stubborn, who's very single-minded, who wants things their way, and it's going to detract from what you want from life, because you're going to sit there and be like, oh, well, this is a small little request, of course I can do this, or oh, that makes sense, of course. And then you're going to sit there and be like, wait a minute, why am I giving all my time, all my energy, all my effort to this person or to this thing that I don't care about? It doesn't matter. It's not going to be my end goal. And so you have to kind of step back and not be pulled into their stubbornness, but look at your stubbornness. Look at what you desire and say, okay, I'm making time for me. And it brings you then to the Prince of Cups. It brings you to a very emotional energy. And this is a person who absolutely leads with their heart. And it can be very overwhelming. So you have this person who's leading with their heart, who sits there and says, this is my soul, this is what I want, this is what I need. You can easily get pulled into that because the water sign energy that they're projecting is something that you feel very comfortable in. Now, if this isn't yourself, where you're sitting there and you're saying, Dane, it doesn't make sense, I'm not getting in my own way, then somebody else is going to be tripping you up and knowing exactly what to say, exactly how to say it, that makes you feel so bad for them, that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, but I have to do this. And they're really going to be playing off of that. And then with the Temperance, this is somebody who is out of balance. Freyalt is being in connection with the ether, with the, with the power of the world. And this is somebody who just isn't. And this is an energy that really can bring you down a rabbit hole. This is like somebody who becomes obsessed with something and they can't see anything else but this one thing. And that can be very much the energy that's around here, where it's very passionate, it's very focused, it's very, this is the right way, this is the only way. And all of a sudden there's just tunnel vision and you can get sucked into that way too easily. And what you have to do is you have to step back. This is a time where you need to say, this is a time for me. This is a time where I step into my power. I step into my understanding. I step back from the chaos and the pettiness and the hurts and the pains and the disappointment. And I say, this is my road. So what we're doing here with the Eight of Cups is we're walking away from what we once thought we would love. And sometimes walking away from the idea of the dream is a heck of a lot harder than walking away from the dream itself, or walking away from the situation itself. It can be a relationship, like you thought the relationship was going to be awesome, and then it wasn't. Sitting there and knowing you're unhappy is one thing, but giving up on the dream of what you could have had, that's hard. The job, oh my gosh, I thought this job was going to be awesome, that it was going to be everything I wanted. It turned out not to be. Walking away from that, it's hard. It takes tremendous courage, tremendous time, tremendous effort. And what you're going to be doing here is, it doesn't have to be something big like this that you're walking away from, but you're putting an end to an old way of thinking, an end to a pain you've carried around for way too long, an end that sits there and says, now I have my beginning. Now I have my power to move forward. Now I'm free. And it brings you, as you walk away, as you embrace this ending, and it can be walking away from the addiction. It can be walking away from the negative thoughts. Again, there's a sense here of negative thoughts that were spoken over you. And yeah, it could be prayers or curses, blessings or curses. And you're sitting there and you're saying, it's not me though. So it doesn't matter how good the intention was. If it's not you, if somebody was pressuring you to move forward in one specific way, and you're looking at it and you're like, why? That's not my dream. That was their dream. I can't live their dream for them. I need to move forward in me. It brings you to the Six of Pentacles. It brings you to needing balance and being discerning about the energy that you would let in and how much you do for everybody around you, Scorpio. You can't keep on piling up more and more and more and more and more. So, excuse me. So with the Six of Pentacles, you're looking at what you desire, you're looking at your passion forward, you're looking at the balance that is needed. Because if all these pentacles were put on just one piece of the stag's antlers, the antler would break. The stag wouldn't have that strong protection around him. And that's what we need to know with us. When we put all the weight, like it's like trying to carry everything with just your one arm, right? You're carrying all the boxes, all the heavy things, just with this arm, and then we're shocked when the arm breaks, when it just can't take any more pressure. That's what we're like. We're like that arm that just cannot take any more pressure, cannot take any more responsibilities. But we keep on piling it on because it's like, oh, well, it'll get better. If I show them that I'm working so hard and staying so focused and being super positive and trying to get everything done, whether it's at home or at work, you think, oh, people will see that and they'll totally, either chip in or compliment me and be like, wow, well done. That's not how it works. You do a lot, then people expect more and more and more from you. And they're like, oh, well, Scorpio is doing this so well. Let's just keep on giving them more. Or, oh, you can really help me out because I'm struggling. And they only have like not even a quarter of what they're doing, and you're like, wait a minute, no, how is this fair? So being discerning, sitting there and saying no, and really meaning no, not being like, oh no, but now I feel guilty and I should really help you out and it's the right thing to do. No, being very discerning and sitting there and saying, there's only so much I can do. And it leads you then to the messenger of water. It leads you then to you. You're going to find insights and understanding and power from the smallest of places, from a place that seemed so easily overlooked, or it was like underutilized. And what you're going to find here is that there's a passion, there's a beauty, there's a way forward that opens your eyes, that has you seeing things so much more truthfully, so much more honestly than you had seen them before. And what you're finding here, Scorpio, is that you're going to stand really firm in things that people might say, oh, well, that's so small. Like, why are you standing firm in that? It's because it's so important to you. You're going to be finding things and seeing things that have been overlooked that are intrinsically important to you. And it leads you to claiming the throne that you thought was lost, but also defending that throne that people have overlooked. Because you move in the realm of emotion. You move in the realm of compassion and understanding. And people can really, it's sad to say, but people can really think less of that. Because we tend to honor in our world force and strength and, stoicism. And if we're emotional or if we, connect with our emotions in any level, it's like, oh, well, that person's being hysterical. You're not. You're connecting with your emotions. You're connecting with your truth. You're opening up to a way of being that empowers and emboldens. And what the messenger of cups is doing for you is it's moving you into this understanding. It's moving you into this power, this purpose, this grace forward. And it's having you claim a throne you didn't even know you lost. It's having you claim a voice that has been so long overlooked. And as you do this, you step into the sacred feminine, which for a lot of water sign energies is a place where you feel more at home. You feel that balance coming in. Now we have the sacred masculine, we have the sacred feminine, and we're a balance of that within ourselves. So just visualize for a moment the sacred feminine within you, okay? And see where that energy flows within your body. And then see the sacred masculine within you. Where does that energy flow? What spaces does that energy, take up? And you're going to find that there's a powerful truth as you're moving forward. And there's a way that they need to kind of dance and flow and exist within you. That so many times we have this blockage to. It's we're either one or we're the other. Or we honor one more than the other, which sounds silly to say, But we do. We sit there and say, oh, I can't be that compassionate. I can't, be that, trusting. Because people always say, oh, that's naive. And, I get hurt. It's not that you shouldn't trust. It's not that you shouldn't see the best in people. But it's also that you should know that I will help you. Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. To raise me up. But I expect nothing in return. And I don't want to sit there and feel as if I was wronged if you cannot live up to the expectations I hold for me. Because I'm not doing it for you. I'm doing it for me. And that begins this beautiful journey of the heart. And I hope that makes sense. Because what you're looking at here is this powerful, exquisite way forward. And you're calling here on your inner strength, your inner purpose, your inner desires. And the Fool is the road less traveled. The Fool is saying, I will jump, and I will fly, and I will try, and I will become. And everybody laughs and says, of course you will. And we might sit there and hold on to these dreams that we had our whole entire lives. But they're taking us so long to be able to manifest into our existence. They're taking us so long to feel like, wow, I really made it. Or, oh, I feel comfortable within my own skin. Or this dream that I have, it's part of my waking existence. And what the Fool is saying here is it's time to begin that hero's journey. It's time to sit there and fall into alignment with yourself, with your passion, with what you want from life, with how you want to move forward. It's time to look. It's time to see you so much more clearly. And it's time to say, I will jump, I will fall, I will fail, but I will rise. And I will keep on becoming the very best version of me that I can be. The Fool's journey is the hero's journey. Because at times it takes a fool to have that much trust in themselves. To say, this is my road. And then your heart here is moving you forward. And now you're standing before the altar of your existence, claiming your power, claiming your truth, saying, this is me, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is who I am. And it's not easy. And it is overwhelming. But it's powerful, and it's brilliant, and it's truthful, and it's kind, and it's so much more than what you expected. The magician says, as above, so below. As we believe it, so it becomes. And that makes sense. Because the words that we speak to ourselves, that's why listening and the visualization is so terribly important to you. Because you're stepping into a new world, Scorpio. And as you visualize your truth, as you listen to your body, as you listen to your soul, you start to hear the inner dialogue you have with yourself. And you start to take that dialogue astoundingly seriously. So often we sit there and we say, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're so stupid. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you made that mistake. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. It's so embarrassing. All these things we tend to pile on our shoulders and be like, oh my gosh. Instead of doing that, instead of having an inner dialogue of mortification, kind of like a teenage kid being mortified when their parents speak or when they do anything, it's saying, this is me. This is who I am. I own the words that I say to myself. I own the way I think of myself. I own my power. I own my understanding. I own my truth. And I open myself up to it. I open myself up to me. As above, so below. As my mind thinks it, my body creates it. My heart feels it. As my heart feels it, my mind interprets it. My body creates it. And so we walk forward, sometimes manifesting what we do not want because we're so scared of it that it's all we think about. We wait for the next shoe to drop. We wait for things to go wrong. We wait to be pulled in 500,000 different directions. And it's enough. It's I stand before the altar of my existence, claiming my power, knowing my truth, embracing my passion. And as you do so, you start to create. You're very much seen during this time as somebody who's moving forward in maybe in an unorthodox, but in an extraordinary way. And it brings you to the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is change your mind and change your life. You start to see things differently. You look at it and you're like, yes, I can focus on the pain, the hurt, the disappointment, the anger, the upset, the despair. But I can also look at the power that is me. I can also look at my passion, at my understanding, at my truth. And I can see those 2 cups that still stand. And I can walk in that power. I can embrace that understanding. I can move forward in that glory. And it brings you to the 2 of air. It brings you to looking at those 2 roads in your life. And you really had them set in your heart. It was like, not like, oh, these are the 2 ways I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be happy, and I can't imagine not living in these 2 roads. But it can't even be that. It's like, I can't imagine things not going exactly the way that I had planned. And divinity is saying, well, wait, I have something more planned for you. This is also kind of looking at life. It's like, okay, you can go this route or you can go this route. And you might sit there and say, well, I'm not super this way and I'm not super that way, but where do I fit in this world? Where's the place that's for me? And you start to open up your eyes. You start to open up your soul to the way that you move forward, to the place that you want to be within your life, to what it is that you desire. And you start to see things differently. You start to see you differently. And then pathways start to open up. You start to open up. And you're like, there's more here than I realized. There's more truth than I saw before. There's more power to me than I ever thought. And so the 2 roads that you always thought had to be A or had to be B, or you always saw the world, kind of split up into 2 places or 2 pieces, like the A people and the B people. It's like, okay, cool, but I'm not either one of them. You start to see your talents and your passions and your truth having meaning, having connection, moving you forward in a way that kind of takes your breath away. And it brings you to a place of prosperity, of bounty, of brilliance. And the 9 of Pentacles brings this abundance forward. And the 9 of Pentacles in the public arena has people looking at you and saying, wow, you kind of really have things figured out. And as they're looking at you and as you're seeing things clearly and intricately, you also know that there's a heck of a lot of more hard work, ahead. There's a heck of a lot of hard work ahead. But right now, you're focusing on the passion, the beauty, the brilliance that you are embracing. You're focusing on where you are now and how you will be moving forward. And so, yes, there's hard work to come, but take in the glory of now. Take in the hard work that has paid off. And it brings you then to the 7 of Swords. It brings you to looking at things and gathering up your information, gathering up the knowledge that is appropriate for you, leaving some things behind because we evolve. And some things, it's like, I can't take this with me. I don't want it. It's not me. And so you leave it behind. And as you leave it behind, you embrace you. And you start to move forward. And people are going to sit there, Scorpio, they really are, and be like, well, why aren't you sharing as much as you used to share? Or why aren't you connecting the way that you used to connect? It's like, because you're working out a lot. You're working out a lot within your own head. You're figuring things out. You're stepping into your power. You're really listening to yourself. And you're seeing how to spread your wings, how to fly to the place that you need to be. And it brings you to the 6 of the major arcana. It brings you to the Lovers. It brings you to falling in love with life. It brings you to the pillars of your truth. It brings you to opening up your existence, opening up your passion, opening up your desires and saying, this is me. And as you embrace your love, you also embrace the dualities of the way that you can move forward. You embrace in Taoism, you embrace the this and the that there are multiple ways of doing things. And they might all be right, but one is specifically right for you. It follows your understanding. It follows your passion. It follows your truth. And you're sitting there and you're moving forward towards something greater. It doesn't mean that life is, a laugh a minute, kind of thing. It means that, yes, life is hard. And sometimes you're going to be exhausted and you're just going to have to do it anyway. But it's falling in love. It's falling in love with your life. It's falling in love with yourself. It's falling in love with the way that you move forward. It's looking at what it is that you desire and saying, but this is me. And this is where I need to stand. And this is who I need to be. And this is how I need to move forward. And you might sit there and think, wow, if anybody knew this, they would totally laugh at me, or they would mock me all the time, or whatever. It's not their journey, it's yours. You are embracing what you love. You are embracing the depth of your soul. You're embracing life's truth for you. And you're opening up to that world in an extraordinary way. And as you do so, you are seeing that you are moving forward in tremendous power. You are falling into alignment with your truth, with your understanding, with your grace, with your being. And it's like, this is me. Like it? Awesome. Don't like it? Still great. This is me. Remember, the Hierophant in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is represented as the Pope. The Pope could tell kings, queens, emperors, empresses what to do. And so here, it's so funny, is you have the pathways of strength right here with the two of air at the root of your heart. You're looking at the two pathways forward. The hidden throne, okay, of the Empress, and the inner throne of your truth. And this is the throne of, one might say, earthly power. And this is the throne of spiritual power. And they're coming together. And they're sitting there and saying, bring your earthly and your spiritual power forward. And know your truth. Step into your light. Step into your understanding. And see the way that things move forward. From hurt, from pain to disappointment, to calling forward a new era. To calling forward a new truth. And finding the most inspirational understanding from the most unlikely of places. So let's go deeper. Scorpio, February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Yeah, that's fine. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have the Queen of Wands. We have here Charity, which is generosity. We have the Magician coming through, again, this time rooting you in your inner self. You have the Chariot, which is Cancer energy, June 21st to July 22nd. You have the Ace of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, beautiful gifts coming forward. The Star, Aquarius energy, time frame January 20th to February 18th. The Page of Stars, the Page of Swords, and the Sun. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. I especially like your external self, the public arena. Here, there's such power to you, but it's gentle power. We always think of power as, big muscles and, this undeniable strength that you can see. The being able to have that booming voice, the speaking over everybody else type of power. But this is a very gentle power. This is a very purposeful power. And this is what you need to listen to within you, is this beautiful power that leads you forward. And really embracing the power of the breath, of being centered, of being present, of standing within your truth, standing within yourself. So we start off with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is passion. And the Queen of Wands is astoundingly passionate. As you're moving forward, as you're creating really solid boundaries and stating what you want and what you will put up with and what you won't put up with. And so the Queen of Wands is moving you forward. You're seeing yourself open up to your truth. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You're passionate. You're determined. You're looking at what gives meaning to your life. And you're saying, this is my truth. This is where I stand. And this is what I stand for. It brings a level of charity, a level of generosity. And I see this, it's either as like this abstract horse, or it's as this depicted as a chalice kind of moving forward with us. So here, as you're getting this gift, as you're having this passion come forward, the charity that comes, the clarity that comes, the generosity spirit that moves you forward, that is part of your knighthood during this time, part of the messages that become a part of your intrinsic soul, start to become very clear to you, start to become very noticeable to you. You could even have been trying to ignore them for quite some time, and you're finding, no, this is my truth. This is the way that I need to move forward. This is me standing before the altar of my existence as I claim my throne and claiming my power. No longer am I going to be silenced. No longer am I going to be weak or overwhelmed. And by weak, I mean perceiving yourself as weak. We all perceive ourselves as weak at one point or another. And if we only perceive ourselves as strength and, abundance and like I'm the best person on the face of this earth, that's a problem. So here, as we are moving forward, as we are claiming our power and knowing our strength and knowing what we desire, it's standing at the altar of your existence and saying, I know that I am made up of knowledge, okay, of wisdom. So it's kind of like everything that you learn becomes the wisdom that you live by. And then I'm made up of heart, I'm made up of soul, I'm made up of an understanding of my spirit. And if I ignore that spirit, I ignore a huge part of me. I'm made up of prosperity and dreams that I plant within myself. And again, if I ignore that, I ignore a huge part of me. And I'm made up of passion, that fire that drives me forward. And if I ignore that, I ignore a huge part of me. So by claiming all of these, I claim a whole that is so often overlooked. Usually we pick one area and we say, I claim the mind, I claim the heart, I claim my passion, I claim my discovery, my knowledge that I plant within myself. But we don't claim the whole thing. And here, as you claim it, you know that as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. And that's where you find this forgotten power coming forward. And it brings you to a ferocity of self. The chariot is the day and the night moving you forward. It's the sun shining, and it's the reflection of that sunlight. It's the reflection of ourselves moving us forward. It is what we want everybody to see and we want nobody to see, what is our private self. And so here, as we move forward, as we change our world, as we, find ourselves being this strength, being this pillar, being this understanding force that is guided, that is skilled, that has more to them than they could ever realize, we find ourselves facing a new beginning and claiming a profound magic, claiming that God's head within, that is so easy to overlook because it's so easy to sit there and say the truth is external instead of realizing the truth is internal. So much is within us, so much is empowering, so much is emboldened. And then as we become the warriors of our hearts, as we sit there and say, this is my truth, this is what I desire, there is a washing away as we change our minds and change our lives. There's a washing away of the negativity. There's a washing away of the hurts, the pains, the disappointments. It doesn't mean they're gone for good. It means that they aren't so prominent in the forefront of our minds. It is the hurt that we have been through, yes. It is the pain that we have experienced, yes. But that doesn't get to define us. We don't get to live our whole lives defined as pain, hurt, disappointment, despair. We get to live our lives in a way of glory for our truth, glory for what we desire, glory in being. And it washes away so many doubts, so many fears, so many disappointments. But it also is setting us free. It's washing away the emotional bonds or, shackles that have held us back for too long. And it brings us to a place of being able to plant the seeds as we see greater paths opening of what we want, of where we need to be, of what it is that we desire. Here it says luck. But I don't necessarily believe in luck. There's a bit of luck in life, yes. But it's hard work, it's dedication, it's determination. It's also that belief in the self. The sitting there and saying, I will not plant seeds of poison within me. And even if I do, I will weed them up. This is looking at what we desire. This is looking at what we desperately need and saying, this is my truth. And this is what I'm moving towards. And this is the prosperity that is held to me. And that's what divinity is giving us. God, source, spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, is handing you a gift of an emotional cleanse, an emotional detox, and a way to see prosperity in a whole new light, a way to see prosperity in a whole new power forward. It's like I am planting a truth that I have forgotten, but it is a truth that I have always known. And it brings you to the star. It brings you to your wishes. It brings you to the highest form of man's perfection and saying, this is what I want from my life. This is what I need. And divinity hears you. Not in the way that we want divinity to hear us. Not in the, oh my gosh, I'm going to answer every single wish you've ever had, but in the way that your soul's wish is heard. Your soul's desire is understood. And you're going to find that in the public arena, you meet with challenges, you meet with oppositions, but you also meet with blessings. And they're going to come hand in hand, and it's going to be frustrating. It is, but it's going to be powerful. And it moves you to being a student of the present. The Page of Swords is the person who is the student of the mind, okay? But also of the air, of the breath that is around you, of the way that you breathe in and you breathe out, and you are present. So when you inhale through your nose, okay? Rest your hands down on the table or on your lap, or just be aware of your hands, the energy within them. And just close your mouth and breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your nose. And see how it brings you into the present, how it calms your mind, how it moves you forward. I'll link in the description box below on the breath and the power of the breath. But I've been doing this, and it's very extraordinary. There's also a sense of tremendous release that comes forward, and tremendous empowerment that is brought to us as you become a student of your breath, of your voice, of what you desire, and as it connects you with what you deeply love, what you deeply need. And it brings forward this happiness, because you're not in the future, which is, completely unknowable. It's not in the past, which is always pain, because no matter, even if we live in our best moments of the past, they can never be recreated. They're always gone. And so here, when we embrace the happiness, as we move forward, knowing our truth, knowing what we desire, being that stubborn warrior, that stubborn, it's almost like a zealot of who we need to be. And it's not that zealot in a bad way. It's that sense of, this is my truth, and I want to scream it from the rooftops, but it is my sacred truth, my quiet truth, my beautiful truth. And it gets to be highlighted within my heart. It gets to be exalted within my soul. And the light shines, and the beauty shines forward. And it becomes a powerful, beautiful part of you. People see this in the public arena. They can be very jealous of you during this time, Scorpio. Don't let them take you by eyes. Stand in your glory, stand in your truth. Know who it is that you are. And do not let anybody have you doubt that. Because they're going to try and extinguish the light. But you shine too bright. Always remember that. And it's raising your energy vibration. It's sitting there and saying, I get to be up here, not down here. I get to be my passion, my truth, my power, my brilliance. It brings you to your spirit animals. Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. February 16th to the 28th, 2021, Scorpio. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. And spirit guides, angels. So we have the Nightingale spirit. And this says, And this says, love is all around. Love is all around you. It is a powerful, passionate, brilliant part of you. And this is what you're embracing. You're embracing the spirit of love that is guiding you, that is becoming you, that is gracing you. And love is all around you. So sing that song, embrace that joy of love being an intrinsic part of who you are. And then we have here the whale spirit. It says, trust the great mysteries. With love being all around you, it is time to trust that we don't have to know everything, that everything doesn't always have to make sense. Trust in the mysteries. You will find that they hold fantastic wisdom as it becomes clear to us, but it will not become clear to us all at once. And then finally, we have the Moth Spirit. Surrender now. Surrender now to the transformation of you. Surrender now to your truth. Surrender now to your beauty. It brings you to your subconscious spirit animal message, and that is the otter spirit. You are never alone. You have the two otters here making a heart. There is love, there is beauty, there is honor, there is truth. There is brilliance guiding you. You are never alone. It brings you then to the subconscious person message, which is strength. Not strength through force, strength through kindness, strength through compassion, strength through wisdom. And then we have the subconscious chakra message, which is the root chakra of abundance. You are meant to embrace your root, to embrace the root of you, of abundance, of prosperity, of success, of bounty. And this root is moving you. This abundance is moving you to a place that you absolutely just belong. And it's this place of abundance. It doesn't mean that you'll have a mansion. It means that there's an abundance, brilliant abundance driving you forward. And it's abundance of security. It's abundance of centering. And it brings you, to your subconscious tarot message, which is patience, which is temperance in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. Balance is coming forward. Patience is guiding you. Things are happening in divine timing, not in ours. Be patient, Scorpio, because you will be astoundingly surprised at how things evolve and how you move forward. It brings you then to the subconscious, to going deeper into the subconscious. And it brings you to the Ten of Pentacles. Confidence, competence, commitment, success, bounty, abundance, prosperity that lasts for generations, and embracing generational wealth. All right, Scorpio, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we move forward in the brilliant light of the sun, in blessings, and standing before the altar of our existence, calling forward our power into every moment of our lives and every blessing of our souls. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Scorpio.